Now, when I'm not doing the sermon, I always need to think carefully about the all age slot. That's not to say I don't think about it when I am, but with a different speaker, I like to make sure I'm not treading on his toes. With what I'm about to say, though, I can safely say I'm not going anywhere near his feet. Today, we're looking at the healing of the blind man in Jericho. Sorry if that's a bit of a spoiler, but I presume you'd know how the story ended. Anyway, that's the speaker's department, more of which later. Back in the 1990s, Paula and I went to Jericho. So when I read of it in the Bible, it summons up a particular memory. Oranges. It summons up a memory of toilets as well, but we'll stick with oranges for the time being. It was great to go to Jerusalem and Tel Aviv, but there was something about Jericho which made you feel further away from home than you've ever been before. It had a kind of Wild West feel to it, or should I say exotic East. When our nice air-conditioned coach pulled up in Jericho, some children came to meet us, Indiana Jones style, selling this and that and the other. And before we went any further, we were greeted by the sight of the freshest, juiciest looking oranges we had ever seen, and they tasted amazing. It was great to see, but had we not taken the opportunity to have some for ourselves, we'd have missed out, and that would have been a real shame. The Bible says, "Taste and see that the Lord is good." You see, I can tell you all about him and describe my own experiences of him in great detail, but that is no substitute for discovering him for yourself. I can't take you to Jericho. I can't take you anywhere at the moment, but I can tell you about Jesus, and I would encourage you to taste and see that he is good, to sample for yourself his love, his care, and his forgiveness, to know him and to love him for yourself. Now that is an adventure. And if you've heard all this before several times, I've got some homework for you. To read 1 Peter chapter 1 and the first 3 verses of chapter 2, which end, "Now that you have tasted that the Lord is good." In order to give that some context, I went back to chapter 2 and verse 1, which starts, "Therefore." So I went back further to the previous chapter, the paragraphs of which start, "Now," "Since," "Therefore," and "Concerning." So I thought you might as well read it from the start. We've come a long way from Jericho's oranges. I would warmly recommend both them and the one who created them, and taste and see that he is good. And we'll think more about what happened in Jericho as we go on through the service.